Hey, beauties, good morning to you. Listen to me. You see, when Jesus said to us, be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove, it is a very, very potent, ever present caution that He has given us as human beings. When it says, well, you're not going to be almost serpentine in terms of being evil, wicked, sinister, malevolent, vitriolic, or vilify people. No. What it is there for saying is that you be shrewd, you be cautious, you have discernings, you have that discernment, that discerning spirit of God with you at all times. You're not going to be suspicious. And you say, Lord, I wonder if that person would... No, you're not going to be ridiculous. Being suspicious, being, how do I put it, being where it becomes too much, being suspicious in a great way where it's too much, is not being discerning. You're not exhibiting or emitting the gift of discernment. No. What is happening is that the enemy has planted seeds of fear and angst inside of you, and fear will bring evil. When you notice sometimes when people do things, when you check the etymology of it, when you check the foundation of it, the structure of it, it really was birthed out of fear. Even if you see somebody kill somebody and do something sinister and evil, they were fearful of whatever outcome they figured would have happened, and it drove them to doing something evil and sinister. But I want to get back to when it says being wise as a serpent. You have to have that discerning spirit from God upon you. We live in a world where people make truth evil and lie good. We live in a world where people, when they pretend, they make the person who is very true, real, and sincere look as if they are pretending. You have to know the enemy's devices and strategies. Judas walked with Jesus for 3 years. He walked with him. He saw the goodness in him. Yet it did not transform him. You have to be, Jesus knew that about him because he's God, he's all-knowing. We understand that. But he had to demonstrate that. He had to bring that sort of a scenario for us to understand that. There are some people, I can tell you that, you don't know them, but when you see them and they will say, this is my best friend, and you say, that when I said that person is not true to that other individual, but it's not my place. It's like I might see they can be celebrities, they can be, people that you just know about, like associates and all of that, and it's not my place to just go and say as much as I'm, the Bible says, he that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life. It's not every battle I have to jump into. I pray and say, God, you deal with it. Help that individual. I pray about it. You can see it from a mile off. And I said, well, it's just sad that friend can't see it. I've seen in a case where in the end, somebody saw it. When I saw them, I said, that friend is not true to that person. And I live to hear the person come and say the person did all of this. And I still never said to them, I suspected it. No, because I'm not one to... I don't... Any little thing that looks like gossip and rumor, propaganda, because sometimes people end up calling him to say. You understand? Maybe that's a fear of mine. And not to say I won't caution people that I don't love. It's not indicative of me not cautioning people that I love. It's about balance. You have to know which battles to take on, which those that you should not take on. And I'm saying that many people end up to their own demise because they're not discerning their friends. They're not discerning people. A strong indicator to know if something is off. If you have a friend or a spouse or a family member that always berates you, always puts you down, they're always finding fault. It's like there's nothing good you're doing. They're playing guilt, casting aspersions on you. It's almost like you're invariably, very often, frequently. Chances are they are doing something sinister behind your back or something sinister in their own lives that if you were to find out, you probably would say, but my infractions, my misconducts just look like water on a duck's back in comparison to their cement with gravel, with rough sand and water in the hot sun, and people expect it to stay soft. Watch for people like that who have this level of self-righteousness where they're always crucifying. And when I use the word always, literally it's always crucifying others, sending people to the gallows, berating, tearing down others, especially in a spousal situation, a husband and wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, fiance, or just simply two friends. And they say something is off. Chances are they're doing something that is eating away at that relationship, friendship. It's not normal behavior. That's not normal. Because you as a friend, you may say something that is offensive. But offensive doesn't mean it is wrong. But maybe your manner, maybe your nonverbal behavior, even the words that you chose may have been wrong or maybe inappropriate at the time, And as a friend, I might react and kind of give you the cold shoulder, silent treatment for a moment. But if I'm true to you, and you're true to me, you probably come back and said, all right, I felt this way and I really do, but maybe how I said it was wrong. The timing was off, whatever it is, I apologize. And as your friend, I would say, all right, I understand. And I see what you're saying. Maybe I was, behaving a way that could have come off to a certain way to you. And you just reacted because you're humans. I accept your apology. I too apologize. We're back together. Forgiveness is easy. If you understand what I'm saying. I know some things are difficult, especially when the betrayal is high and great. But when it is not something that deep and you see the person berating you, tearing you down, tearing you to shreds, always making you feel guilty, always making you feel as if you're the worst human being on earth, I guarantee you there are some skeletons in that person's closet. Usually those skeletons, not skeletons. And that's another educational tip. Skeletons. That are usually linked to you as the individual, or they're so bad that they can't afford for you to find out. Because it really would make them seem the human that they did not want to see, to be viewed as in the negative. Because it's not normal behavior. You have to have discernment. Usually they are throwing their guilt, projecting their guilt on the other so as to not make themselves look bad, or so as to not allow the guilt to blow their minds in a bad way. They can't manage it. I'm telling you, people, usually they're doing some things that are malevolent, sinister, evil, wicked, not of a good report, and they cannot afford for anybody to find out. So they act what they do, they berate you, and usually sometimes, unfortunately, men are guilty of that. Because as women, what we do, we try to reason things out because of the fact that we use our emotions a little bit more deeply, because of the side of the brain that we use, the right side, the more creative, dynamic side, and our femininity causes for that. We talk a lot, we talk out things. So women will kind of, all right, look into it a little bit deeply and say, all right, I think I was wrong here, easier than men. So men are usually the perpetrators where that is concerned. So that you tend to find them being more narcissistic and arrogant. If you disbelieve me, ask Nebuchadnezzar. Ask Lucifer. I don't want you to pray to him. I'm just simply saying to you, and when I say ask, I don't mean a literal asking. I'm saying you watch their lives, and many other men. Was it King Agrippa and others? Men tend to be guilty of that. Be wise, women, wise up. When you see people berating you, and they say, no, man, left up to them, I would think that I'm the devil, so to speak. Left up to them, something is off. There's a brokenness in them. However, usually they're hiding something that they can't afford you to know. Maybe it's against you. So they have to be able to get it off. But what they're doing is that they're digging the holes deeper and deeper, and they're getting worse and worse. Deal with it. Be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Guys, follow me on TikTok. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share this message.